Good morning, Floss Tube. Welcome. It is Taryn. It is Saturday, May 13th. What the heck, man? This month is already halfway over. Time sure does fly, that's for sure. And I'm not so sure I'm always having fun while time is busy flying, so. Busy week cross-stitching because still doing Maynia. You know how that goes. So I guess we'll do that. Before I moved on to new things, I did go back and pull out this one from last week because I had moved the M up here and I have concerns with what I'll remember the next time. So I did go ahead and fill in my heart around the M so that next time I won't pick it up and be like, what the heck am I doing? But the truth of the matter is, there's a fair chance that I'll still pick it up and be like, what the heck have I done? I am actually really enjoying working on this one. I do like the little, little patches of color where it's really quick. I know, okay, I'm gonna do this square in this color, and that makes it easy to just pick it up and go. I like that. Let's see. So going forward with Maynia, on the 7th, I worked out of this Leisure Arts magazine, February 1989. It's called Through the Year, and this is what it looks like. This is a carryover from Maynia from last year, and apparently it's going to be a carryover to next year. Yeah, I did some lettering. That's really it. This is a really tiny fabric. I mean, it's Ada, and it's really small, so there you go. For you people that keep track of everything, and are super organized, and you know what fabric, and I'm telling you, my floss is DMC, because I really don't usually buy anything else, and my fabric comes out of the tub with all the fabric crammed in there. So generally, I don't know. If it has a color name, I don't know. All you organized people who know exactly what you're doing, you're really starting to piss me off. I'm just kidding. Good for you. Good for you that you can do that. Every time I try to organize, it's like I lose my mind. I guess my brain doesn't work that way. But anyway, I didn't get very far on it, and it has occurred to me that, and only just recently, and by just recently, I mean like this morning, that I really should come sit out here where the light is brighter to work on tiny little crap like this so that I can actually see it. Because I sit in there with not great lighting, and I get frustrated and irritated, and it takes me 10 times longer. So what's the point of that? So on day 8, Paula Vaughn, Friendship Quilts. This again is a carryover from last year. I think this time I got in like the handle on the porch swing and maybe a row across. Last year I put in a little bit of the bench, and then the election challenge with Stitch Mania. I think this part came in for White House because it's a wall on a White House. So that's about it. Look at all the threads for this one. That's craziness. If I could get this one finished and put these threads back in my box, I bet I'd have a complete set. I actually kit up my projects. I know a lot of people keep just a master box of floss, and they just have that box with them. I don't do that because, for one thing, for one thing, it doesn't matter if I have duplicates. Eventually, they're going to get used, or that's the way I figure it anyway. It's my justification. But I like to be able to just grab the bag and go if I want to take it with me. And like I showed you last week, I carry the stuff around, what I'm going to work on that week, in a backpack. So I don't generally, maybe before, now I should, but generally before, I didn't come out here to stitch where all my stuff is, so that just makes it easier. But I don't know. Anyway, next on day 9, Christmas Gentleman. This also is a carryover from last year's Maynia. And last year, I think I had this much done. That was it. And so this year, bam, not very much more. I really wanted to start working on the letters. But out of all of this, that's the one color that's not in that bag. What the heck? How did I just skip over that color? So I've got to get a skein of that floss. Or actually look and see if I already have it. And I just missed pulling it. But, you know, I know that all progress is good progress, but I just don't, when you're just doing the border, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. And I feel like I'd be more motivated if I could put in a letter and go, okay, hey, yeah, that's actually something. So, I don't know. I really want to get some of them done, but oh well, don't we all? The next day, this was day 10, working on Woodstock. He is out of peanuts all year long. Again, he's one from last year. I worked on, here he is. I put in a little bit more on the purple here, but mostly I worked on outlining because look, those bottom feathers, everything is outlined. There's a ton of outlining. But as you get up here into the others, it's more just kind of, you know, giving the impression of feathers and stuff. But this down here is insane. And there are parts where I don't even know if I've outlined it right, but it's freaking full of outlining. At this point, if I don't know if it's right, somebody who's not looking at the pattern's not going to know, so I just decided, quit worrying about it. So I did. I quit worrying. Day 11. Working on this chicken out of this cross-stitch magazine, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. November, December 1988, so it's a new release. There you go, that's what the front looks like. Again, another Maynia piece from last year. Last year I did some of the white. This year I think I did like another little row of white and some of this gray, which is kind of hard to see. Again, stuff I'm going to have to work on out here when it matches. This is some kind of Aida fabric in a color. That's all I know. It's not white, and I didn't dye it, so I have no idea. Day 11, no, 12. I'm doing this boo, and I'm just doing it on a piece of fabric, not on a sweatshirt or anything. It, again, is from last year, Maynia. Last year, all I got done was a little bit of the green, and I think I've worked on some of the orange for one of the Halloween all-year things or something. I don't know, but mostly I filled in more orange. And who knew that little tiny pumpkin could have like 4 shades of orange? It's crazy. So, and again, this is it's Aida, but it's like, I don't know, 57 count. Just kidding, it's really small. So this is another piece, because it is super, super small, that I need to work on out here where I have light instead of just, because it makes me work slower. Imagine that when you can't see the holes, it makes you work slower. And it makes me work more frustrated. And what's the point of that? This is supposed to relax me, not frustrate me, right? I did work on the Linen and Threads Mystery Band Sampler, and yes, this is still just March. There are 2 more now. But since I haven't caught up to March, I don't need to print the other 2 out yet. Actually, I have printed out April, but I don't know what I did with them. Sorry. Anyway, here is where I am. I've done a little bit more work on the January band. I think I put in this bird and this little piece right here. And I've been working on, as you can see, the February band. Working on this, I feel like I'm actually seeing some progress. It's like the January has so much stuff that I feel like I keep working and working and the end is never in sight. But seeing this progress here helps me to go back and work on in little pieces on the January band. And for this, since it's just simple repeats right here, the last couple of days, I've taken it in the car with me to work on my way to work. It's a little bit distracting while I'm driving, but I think I've done a good job. I'm just kidding. Dax is driving. I'm not cross-stitching while I'm driving. But anyway, this is where I am. I feel like I've this week actually made some visible progress on it. So that makes me happy. And that was it. That was all I did this week. I feel like if I actually do come out here, that might help me get more progress because, like I said, if I can see, I'll be able to stitch a little bit faster. I am looking forward to this next week in Maynia. I have a few more starts. I've decided to go ahead and do it all the way through to the 17th. So that's good. I'm looking because I have my calendar for what's coming up next week, and I believe I'm missing something. But anyway, I can deal with that later. What else? I have a little bit of haul. This was a little kit I ordered. I bought from... Gosh, now I don't remember. It's not Stash Unload. It's one of the other ones. That's like, you know, Stash Unloading, Cross Stitch Only, something like that. The name escapes me at the moment. But it's really cute. I'd like to thank the Postal Service for mashing it just enough to open the little package of beads and dumping them all down in here. That's lovely. On Sunday, since Abigail and Avery wanted to just kind of hang out, because Avery left Monday morning, him and his mom, we took Avery's mom to San Antonio, to the Alamo and the Riverwalk and all that good stuff. I think she had a good time. But while we were in the Alamo, I bought this little sampler, and it's little. It's 3 inches by 2 inches on 18 count. So I mean, there's the whole kit. I mean, this right here, there's the fabric. I guess I'll be stitching that in hand. But I thought that would really be neat to have in my Bolus Smalls. It's not a dull bow. It's just an antique porcelain covered, you know, where they put the porcelain over the metal. It's a bowl like that. But I thought it would be really cute to have a bunch of smalls in there from places that we traveled if I could find them. So I really want to start that, but I haven't yet. I was out here messing around, trying to clean up a little, as you can obviously not tell. And it is amazing what I find that I didn't know I had anymore, because I was looking for fabric, is what I was looking for. Specific fabric that I knew I had, And I came across a box with some floss in it. Look at this. Just crammed in a box at the back of a cabinet. It's got pearl cottons. It's got regular cross-stitch floss. Variegated. What the heck? A lot of these pearl cottons, I can tell you that I bought them because, like right there, the clearance says 54 cents. And I bought it with nothing in mind. I bought it because it was 54 cents for pearl cotton. So, that was cool. I always like finding stuff. And I actually, there were several colors that, in what I found, because this isn't all of them. I've already pulled out colors that were ones I had missing in projects that I'm kitting up and put them with those. So that was pretty cool. Especially when I can do it for free. And now where the box was, there's a little empty spot. A little clean spot. I know last week I said that I had dyed some fabric. This is it. Still not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. It's probably a little more orangey than what that's showing up. I don't know if this shows up better. It started off as a tan piece of Aida, and it was tan. I wet it and wetted it up, and to dye it, you know the things that you pour in your water, like the Mio flavorings? Well, I have some Kool-Aid brand that is cherry, and so I squirted that on there. And I have another one that's like, I don't know, watermelon hibiscus or something that is a light purplish color that I squirted on there in spots. Like, this is from the cherry, obviously. But I don't know if I can get this in here. There's some other places that are colored but lighter. Like this one's from the hibiscus. It's kind of a purpley color. So, I don't know. We'll see. I like to play around with what I can do with what I have on hand. Just like this, dyeing this fabric. Because all kinds of stuff will stain your clothes. So why wouldn't it dye your fabric? But anyway, like I said, I like to play around with what I have here. Last week, I forgot to bring it out and show you. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it. Or if you're in some of the other cross-stitch groups. But I finished this piece. This is one I had finished earlier this year. Even though, like an idiot, I dated it last year. What is wrong with me? I swear. I had concerns about how I was going to finish it, what I was going to do with it, because this fabric, it's not really showing up. It really has kind of a pale yellow tint to it. It's not really off-white, but it's not quite yellow either. So I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then when I was digging for other fabric, I found a bunch of squares. What do they call it? I think they're like 5-inch squares. They might be 4-inch squares. Where you buy them in the whole stack. It's like a cupcake or something. I don't know. But I found that, so that's what I used to do it. And this is a piece of old lace. I was going to show you the lace. It's from some antique lace that I have. And as you can see, it's all stained up and everything. And I decided not to even, like, there's a stain right there. I thought about trying to clean the lace before I put it on here. But then I thought, you know what? I kind of like what the staining does. I kind of like the effect that it has with it. So I left it, and I put this tiny little red button up in the corner just as a little, I thought it needed something else, and I didn't want to put a bow on it. So that's what I did with that. My lace, this is what I do when I buy stuff that's not in a package, like ribbon or lace or whatever, because this was just like a piece that I think I had bought like a little Ziploc bag in an antique store that had a bunch of just scrap pieces in it. This is wood. I buy them, the little packages at Hobby Lobby in the woodworking section because they're great for this. And I bought this little box at Target in the dollar section because obviously that's my freaking favorite place to shop. I have a couple of them, but I just take, when I, it's got little handles on the side. When I buy stuff like this, I take it and I wrap it on these. Like this one, when I open the package of Rick Rack, I use whatever I'm gonna. I take the rest of it and I wrap it on one of these and put them in this box. It helps them be a little bit neater, or organized and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what I do with that stuff. So I also this week finished my Grumpy Cat. Look at that. I'm an FFOing machine. Okay, maybe not. I don't think, two things really counts. But anyway, I thought he turned out really cute. I ordered these are little wooden snowflake buttons. I ordered them off of eBay. I've been waiting for him to come in so I could FFO him. I think I got 50 buttons for 75 cents, but I had to wait for him to come from China. So anyway, I just used the same polka dotted fabric on the back. I struggled with what fabric to use because I have some fabric that's white with gold snowflakes on it, which I kind of liked the way they tied into my sparkly little gold star, thanks to Abby. But it was too bland when I put it with the cat and everything. It was just kind of blah. So I went with red. Kind of pulls out the red in his hat. I don't know. Red's my favorite color. That could have something to do with it. But I thought he turned out really cute. And I did actually do something that is not cross-stitch related. But I saw this picture on someone's blog. And she had sewn together just little leftover strips of fabric into a panel that was big enough and did this. And I thought it was so adorable. And look at the way she displays it on it's just like a wooden suit hanger that she painted white and put some decorations on. How genius is that? But anyway, I thought that was really cute. And I can't tell you what blog because, as you can see, when I blew the picture up, I cut off all that information. And I did not bookmark it. So I have no idea. So if it was yours, thank you for the idea. Anyway, in Target's dollar spot, I have bought these linen napkins. They came with this little trim on them, little crocheted trim. I think you got 2 napkins for $1 or 2 for $3 or something like that. But I put him on there. How cute. And it's reverse applique. In regular applique, you stitch whatever you're making on top. In this one, you stitch it and it is actually underneath. But how cute. And to stitch around it, which you can see my stitches are completely uneven, I used some of the variegated thread that I had found, pearl cotton and pink variegated. But I thought it came out really cute. I will sew these two together, and I'll leave the top open and put some ribbon up there and just make a pillow cover that I'll pull out at Easter time. And I have another package of 2 that I'll do the same thing with. In this fabric, I did not piece mine together like she did. I have a couple of yards of this fabric that it's not printed that way. It is actually patchwork. but it's sold by the yard. These are all little squares that are sewn together and everything. So anyway, that is what I use. It's what I use on the other pillow cover. But I just thought that was so quick and easy, and that it turned out cute and inexpensive. I like cute and inexpensive all the time. So that's it. That's what I have done this week. I feel like it was kind of a productive week. Maybe didn't get really big progress on anything, but it makes me feel good when I get other things done too. Or I swear, in trying to clean up out here in the dungeon, every little thing that I can, every bag of trash that I can carry out of here, or any little spot that I can get organized, I feel like I've accomplished a great deal. So that's always a plus. I have the cutest pattern for a bag that I am going to try to make. I hope I'm going to get a chance to work on it this weekend. We'll see, because it's going to be, I'm going to try to make it as a project bag. So we'll see. It doesn't have any actual pattern or anything, just pictures. So we'll see if I can interpret pictures. If not, I'll show you the failure next week if I get to work on it. And more than that, I hope I get to show you the success next week. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got. I've got next week for Maynia, because I'm going to go through the 17th. I've got 3 new starts and 1 that I'm working on from last year, but I'll be working, it's a full coverage piece, so I'll be working on it forever. And it's tiny. Maybe if I work on it out here, I can get more done than I had thought I would. But anyway, we'll see. I'm really liking the little starts and everything else, even if I don't get very far on them. I'm having a good time with it, and that's supposed to be what it's all about, right? Okay, everybody, I think this is it. Y'all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Bye.